Oh.
And I'm also an instructor at the iTribe Academy. Okay, so I'll start with this. I'll just share my screen. Just confirm if my screen is visible, or if it is clear. Yes. Just a minute, I'll put it on full screen. Yeah. Can you all see me and the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So today, first of all, welcome everybody. For today, for this 45 to 60 minutes in this webinar, we are going to discuss something that actually a lot of you all are aware of, most of you all are aware of, but unconscious, subconsciously, we just skip that. We know how important health is. We know how important it is to choose the right food, but somewhere we kind of skip it. Okay, so we're just going to talk about this first. The importance of health. Now, this is very basic. I am not going to ask you guys, why is health important or the other things. You are very well aware how important it is to take care of your own health. And when I talk about health, I not only mean about your physical health. Okay, so of course, your physical health is of utmost importance. You do need to take care, but that's not it. That's not all. Your mental health, it also comes into picture. If your mental health is not good, if you're always stressed, if you're always anxious, there are certain chemicals that are released in your body. Okay, and those chemicals, they can cause issues in your physical body as well. So when I talk about taking care of your health, just keep in mind your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, everything comes into picture. Okay, so now let's just see few points on the importance of health. First, it improves your longevity. So if you don't have a proper healthy lifestyle, it affects your daily routine. Okay? And when one gets proper nutrition, they become fit, they become healthy, hence improving their longevity. So longevity is basically nothing but the length or the duration of your life. Second, it prevents diseases. A very important concept of leading a healthy life is to provide immunity or to provide strength against various diseases. Therefore, having a healthy mind and body, it is very important for the overall well-being of your own overall well-being. Third, it improves mental health. Now, when the person is mentally happy, they their productivity is better. Okay, they perform productively, and therefore mental health is also a very important part of your physical health. So both of them, they kind of go hand in hand, they work together. Lastly, lead a productive life. So only a person who is in good health himself would be able to serve their community, their family, their loved ones. If you are probably unwell or not in the best of your health, you won't be able to always take care of people around you, take care of your loved ones, okay, in the ways that you intend. So these are the very few, very basic points that I've mentioned on why health is important. Now, going ahead, let's check out some ways in which we can maintain a healthy lifestyle. The first one is measure and watch your weight. So weight is, to be honest, it is one of the many determinants of health. Okay, but it is very important as well. If your weight, it isn't in a healthy range compared to your height and compared to your build and compared to your age, the best way is to lose weight. Now, when I say lose weight, I mean lose excess of body fat. Okay, your weight, it's a combination of your body fat, it's a combination of your muscles, it's a combination of the water that your body actually holds in, and your bone weight. So you don't have to lose muscle, you don't have to lose or reduce your water weight. You have to work towards reducing the fat percentage or the amount of fat that is present in your body. And if by chance, so if you are not taking care of your weight or you're not watching your weight, in the long run, it can lead to such conditions. It can lead to heart diseases. It can lead to type 2 diabetes. That is kind of your diabetes. It is a lifestyle issue. Okay, it is not caused by one particular reason, but there are multiple reasons which come into picture when we talk about type 2 diabetes. Stroke, high blood pressure, arthritis, all of these things can be experienced if your weight is not in control. Arthritis, especially, osteoarthritis, especially on your knees and hips, because all your body weight, it eventually falls on your joints and your bones. So in that way, your bone health also gets compromised. Now, I would just like to mention one important thing. When some people they try their best to lose weight, they're working out, they're eating clean, everything is happening, but still they can't lose weight. Okay, that is a very clear indication that something is wrong internally. For example, thyroid is something that is very common. Okay, every second person nowadays has issues with thyroid related issues. If you are somebody who is experiencing thyroid related issues and you're not catering to that, or probably you're not aware of it, okay, you're not taking care of it, you're not catering to it. Apart from that, you're just working out and you're eating low, all of those things are happening, you will not lose weight. So first of all, the most important thing is to check what's going on inside your body and then work accordingly. Second, we have limit junk food. So unfortunately, junk food is available almost everywhere. You just walk for 10 minutes, you will find at least 2 to 3 stores which your burgers and pizzas and everything. It is so common, it is so convenient, and it is very easily available. And due to this reason, people it becomes difficult to avoid it. Okay, probably if you don't feel like cooking or you just forgot to cook, you have some or the other store, some McDonald's or some Domino's present near you. The problem here is junk food, they are very much high in unhealthy fats. Fats are something which is extremely essential for your body, but there are the non-healthy or the unhealthy types of fats as well. These junk foods are extremely high in fats. These junk foods are extremely high in sugar and salt. All these things which are not good for your body, you're getting them. And your vitamins, your minerals, your nutrients, these things are amiss. So when that is happening, even though you're consuming enough calories or you're consuming enough energy, your body is not able to get the nutrients out of it. Okay, your body is not able to take out the good part from food. So for this thing, you have to be very mindful of what you eat. You have to be very mindful of what you purchase. Okay, this means that limiting or avoiding sugar in any form. It also means not using vegetable oils or seed oils. Now, I know it's a very common thing to use seed oils and sunflower oil and soya oil and everything at home, but they have a lot of adverse health effects. Okay, so being mindful of choosing your oils, being mindful of choosing your food products. Now, suppose you go to a supermarket. Where do you go first? Is it the ice cream and the chocolate and the junk food area, or is it your fresh fruits, vegetables area? Because you have to be very mindful of that. Start including meat. A lot of people are scared of meat. A lot of people think that consuming eggs will give them cholesterol, but these things are not true. Start accepting foods that is naturally present, or that your nature is giving you. Also, over here, the most important catch is a lot of people don't know how to cook. Okay, now I can't really see your faces, so I don't know how many of you all are smirking or smiling. But when I moved out of my house and I shifted to Pune and I started living alone and I was looking for roommates, I figured out that people actually don't know how to cook. People who are 24, 25 and about beyond that, it's just Maggie that they can make, or probably boiled eggs. That's it. Okay. So cooking is a skill that everybody should know, irrespective of their gender, because you need it for your survival. If you know how to cook and you're probably craving for something, you can just make it and just have it. You don't have to rely on your Swiggy and Zomato and everything. Okay. So the most important, if you learn how to cook, automatically your junk food consumption goes down. Third, take your supplements. Now, considering the current lifestyle, the environment in which the food is grown, there is a huge risk of people being deficient in vitamins and minerals, especially few essential vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin B complex, and magnesium. Okay, so majority of the people we know, or majority of the people who actually come to us at ITH, right, they are very severely deficient in all these things. Vitamin D. Now, this is most commonly known as the sunshine vitamin. Okay, you get it when you are exposed to sunlight. Nowadays, with either 9 to 5 jobs or work from home, or people being inside their cabins and office all throughout the day, the exposure to sunlight is not happening. Okay, and very frankly speaking, you can't do anything about it. You can't go and tell your boss ki, just make your office on the terrace or something where you can get sunlight. That is like not very practical in today's world. So for those things, all you can do is in the morning, in the evening, whenever you get some time, go out in the sun. Don't be afraid of the sun. Okay. And when these things are not possible, then you need to opt for supplementation. You have to give your body what it needs. So supplements, if you'll remember during school times and everything, you have an exam, you write your paper falls short, and then you ask for a supplement. That means the same thing. Okay, the same thing over here in context of the nutrients. You need these things, you're taking it through food. Your body is not, your food intake is not able to meet your body's requirement. Therefore, you supplement it. Okay, so these are not medicines. These do not have any drugs. These are very purely nutrients which your body needs. So that was about vitamin D. Vitamin B complex. As most of the people today are either vegetarians or vegans, or even for people who consume non-veg food, they have it like very occasionally, once or twice a week. And to be honest, that is not enough. Okay, so for all the B complex or the B vitamins that your body is demanding for, you have to give it to your body, and you give it through supplementation if you are not able to rely on food sources. If you're deficient in vitamin B complex, you can see mouth ulcers. So mouth, the chalas that happen, your skin is bad, your hair health is bad, your nails are bad. All of these things, you will be very often tired. You'll just feel like you have no energy to do anything. All of these things happen when you are deficient in B complex, and which is very, very common. Okay, so you have to take care of that. Again, magnesium, like I was mentioning. So magnesium, it is a mineral. Okay, and minerals are found in the soil. They're found through earth. And if you use good quality soils, if you use good quality fertilizers and everything to grow your crops, the minerals from the soil is transferred into that fruit or vegetable. And then when you consume it, you are getting those minerals. But nowadays, I don't have to actually tell you all know the situation of agriculture over here. It's the same soil being used 10, 20, 30 times. It is devoid of all nutrients. Okay, so in such situation, and magnesium is something which it is responsible for more than 300 reactions in your body. There are a lot of chemical reactions that takes place in your body, and for all of those to happen properly, you need magnesium. Okay, so the deficiency can cause brain fog. The most common thing I've seen in a lot of my friends as well, they just go out of the room for something, they get into the other room and they just forget what they were supposed to do. So these things, or memory issues, you just don't remember anything, or you take time to process things. These are certain signs that your body is severely deficient in magnesium. So for all of these things, you have to make sure that you opt for supplementation. And like I already said, these are not medicines. Okay, they don't have any kind of drugs. But one thing, when you choose supplements, you have to choose good quality supplements. Next, we have stay hydrated. Now, I know this looks like a presentation for kids probably, but unfortunately, this is something that has to be spoken of. So just remember one thing, your body is not supposed to feel thirsty. May come as a surprise, but if you feel thirsty, that is a sign that your body is severely low in water, or your body's water levels are very low. Okay, so feeling thirsty is a sign that your body is giving you, okay, I don't have enough water, you have to hydrate enough. And we don't want that. We don't want our body to give us signs and signals, ye karo, ye karo. You should automatically be giving your body what it requires. Okay, best is to keep sipping water very free. I'm not saying that, gulp down half a liter or a whole liter of water in one go. Take sips every 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. Nowadays, unfortunately, most of the offices, they have ACs. Most of your households, they have AC. You don't feel hot, you don't sweat, you just don't feel like having water. And you don't consume water, and eventually you become dehydrated. I have personally seen people who take, they have this one bottle, they keep it on their desk. After their 9 to 5 job, also, that bottle is the same. They have not taken a sip, they've not had any water. Okay. So in the long run, your body will go into severe dehydration, occasional faintings, cracked lips, cracked skin, all of these things can be experienced. And you have, so there's a variety of fluids. Okay. When I say you have to stay hydrated, I don't mean that, keep drinking water, keep drinking water. There are so many things you can choose for. Your watermelon and everything, they have good amounts of water. Go for lemonade, go for coconut water. Infuse your water, take a water bottle, add some fruits, add some, your mint leaves and everything. That will give you certain flavor. You can do all these mix and match. People living in Maharashtra and around Konkan areas, you get kokam, soul curry. These are traditional things, and these are very good buttermilk. These things are extremely good to to hydrate yourself. So I personally don't like water. I don't know. It just doesn't taste well, or I don't like the taste. I have no idea. But I do not. I cannot. So I just, to add some flavor, I add a slice of lemon into it. So it gives me the taste as well, and I'm able to drink water as well. So you have to find such, tricks to help your body. Next, we have something which is extremely important, which is being physically active. Now, this is the most important thing along with your nutrition, of course. Okay, being physically active. A lot of people who have diabetes, hypertension, obesity, one reason that you're not, one reason that you're experiencing all of this is that you're not physically active. Nowadays, any office, any society, anywhere you go, you have lifts, you have elevators, you have escalators. People, they actually find the closest parking lot so that they don't have to, take a 5-minute walk. They'll find a parking lot which is just next to the office, just next to the lift ka darwaza. So if you're not able to walk even that much, you're not physically active, because you have to start making better choices for you to be physically active, for you to involve your body more in activities. Now, you don't have to, you don't have to just hit the gym. Of course, being physically active is always associated with hitting the gym and doing strength training and everything, but that's not always needed. Okay. Even like I mentioned, taking the stairs, parking your gadi thoda dur. If you're going grocery shopping, just walk. It's probably like 10 minutes distance, and still people take their cars and everything. So these things have to be avoided. People who like sports, people who don't like sports also, you all can just recreationally go on the weekends, have a good game, just play cricket, play badminton. Doesn't matter, you don't know it. You can't bat, try to bat. Do something that will keep you physically active. Also, there are, people who have these 9 to 5 jobs, who have the desk jobs and everything. You become so indulged in your work that you don't realize that you are just sitting on that chair for the longest period of time. If you are probably in your office by 9, till 4 or 5, you're just sitting on that chair. You probably got up for a lunch break or something. So that is something that is going to hurt your body a lot. Okay. You are not supposed to sit for more than an hour. So if you're sitting for more than an hour in the same place, in the same position, that is bad for your body. So keep, try moving very often for the smallest thing, like after an hour or so. Keep reminders if you keep moving. Just don't be stagnant at one place. So that is, you have to like be physically active. I'm really sorry, I can't see. Okay. Next comes reducing sitting and screen time. So this is kind of similar to the physical activity one. If you are somebody who, okay, so let's talk about a group of people who are physically active, who think they are physically active because they hit the gym for 2 hours straight. Okay, but rest of the time they are a couch potato. They're just on their couch. They're just on their office chair. They're just home doing nothing. Okay, so just because you work out for 2 hours a day or probably 1.5 hours a day doesn't mean that you are getting enough physical activity. Okay, if you are not, if you're having a very sedentary lifestyle, then only your workout is not going to help you. People who have these diabetes and heart issues and everything, that may occur if you are spending a lot of time sitting behind the computers, reading a book, doesn't matter. Okay, nowadays people, if they just start scrolling on Instagram, they will not stop. You know, probably it goes an hour or beyond and they're still scrolling, and people don't realize it. That is the issue. Okay, I am not kidding, but my younger brother, he works out, he goes to the gym, but ghar pe he'll not do anything. Okay, so if my mom probably asks him ki jhadu laga de, he'll be like, oh no. His gym is like 10-15 minutes far from our place, walking distance. He'll still take his bike. And I do not understand that, because I've seen a lot of people with their gym clothes and their gym bags, they have their bike and they're just going to the gym. So if you can't even walk for that time, what is the whole point of using the gym? Okay, so make sure in your office, in your 9 to 5 desk jobs, take out some time, take a walk, take a stroll, go talk to your colleagues and come back. Okay, it is going to help you a lot. And so the next time you are, catching up with your colleagues and your manager walks in, it's okay. You can like put the blame on me. You can just say that, oh, the nutritionist told us to take a walk after every 1 hour. It's good for your health. You can do it. I can take that blame. Okay. Next, most important, get enough sleep. So sleep, it is not just rest. Okay, sleep is recovery as well. When you are asleep, you're not just providing rest to your body, you're actually internally repairing your body. Therefore, they say now you have to have 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep on a daily basis, because your hormonal health, your immunity, everything depends on a good night's sleep. Nowadays, people experience a lot of sleep issues. Okay, I'm either insomniac, or I cannot fall asleep, or I keep waking up in the middle of the night. These things, they can be due to several other reasons. First is if you're deficient in your minerals, like magnesium is a huge example. Magnesium bisglycinate is something that is very important in order for your sleep to work properly, for you to get good quality sleep. So if you have sleep issues, try supplementing with magnesium. That may help. But the biggest reason is people are exposed to your laptops and your cell phones and everything till the time they fall asleep. If you are probably sleeping at 11, till 10:59, you are using your laptop, you're using your mobile phones. And such bright lights. I have seen people's room where you'll never figure out if it's morning or night. They just have lights every single time. Okay, so that is not how your body works. There are certain hormones that are required for your good quality sleep, namely melatonin. Okay, so melatonin is a hormone which is induced by darkness. So you need to be in a dark surrounding, you need to be in a dark area. Only then that hormone plays, or it comes in, it starts, it plays its role in the body. Okay, so if you want that to happen, you have to set your environment accordingly. Your environment should not, or your bedroom should not have bright lights. You should definitely not use any electronics in your bedroom. Okay, because that light can hamper your sleep cycle. So all these things, or scrolling Instagram reels, stalking people on Instagram, these things are going to affect your sleep. And once your sleep is affected, your rest, recovery, and your overall function also gets hampered. Okay, now this is a personal favorite, and I'm very sure majority of the people didn't like it that I've added this on my slide. But this is true, unfortunately. Stay sober. Even if you think it is occasional, it is once a while, it is very rarely, it is still alcohol. Okay, it is still sugar, it is still a toxin for your body. So if you consume a lot of alcohol, or if you consume alcohol on a daily basis, even that rarely, occasionally basis, it has adverse effects on your body. Okay, it can rise something called as your triglycerides. So triglycerides are a kind of fat that is important for your body, but in excess, it can become harmful for your body. So there are two types of cholesterol. One that takes the fats and it takes it to your cells and tissues where it is important. But when that is happening, there are certain deposition happening. So certain fats, they are deposited or they are left behind in your arterial walls, the vessels of your heart. Okay. And there is another HDL which takes the fat from the cell back into back for its metabolism and emulsification. So when that it is taken back, all these deposited things are also going back. But when you consume high glyceride foods, if you consume processed foods, if you consume alcohol and everything, the deposition keeps on increasing. So imagine this is an arterial wall. Either deposition here, there it is being deposited, it gets deposited, and this diameter it reduces. Okay, and this is when you experience heart attacks or strokes and everything. Okay, so these things, in order for these things to be avoided, you have to stay out of alcohol and definitely smoking. So smoking is very injurious to the body. Everybody is aware of. I'm just stating the obvious, but you all know smoking is not good for the body. It interferes with a lot of nerve actions. It interferes with your brain activities and everything. And if your brain, your nerves are impacted, then your overall health can also get impacted. Next, we have finding ways to manage your emotions. In the initial slides, I was mentioning that it's not just your physical health, it is also your mental health. Okay. A lot of people nowadays, a lot of men, a lot of women, everybody, they have a lot of issues trying to manage these emotions, which is extremely important. All emotions are important. Okay. Even if you're sad, if you're frustrated, even if you're stressed, if you're happy, all of these are equally important, but there should be a way to manage these. Few things: express or share. People who are, people say that, somebody, they just keep on talking, they just keep on sharing. It's good for them. Venting out is really nice. You just need the right audience for it. You just need the trusted people for it. But try expressing, try sharing, try expressing whatever is coming in your head. Okay. If probably your boss is disagreeing with you, find a way to tell them, to let them know your opinion. Okay. If you do that, only doing that will give you a lot of peace. If they accept your opinion or they reject it, that's a different thing. But even conveying that, it plays a very important role in your mental health. Stay close to nature. Now, this is something which we very commonly recommend to our clients. Just start being one with the nature. Okay. People, even if you just walk barefoot on the ground, I'm not talking about these construction and cement wala thing. If you just walk barefoot on the grass in a park or something, it makes you feel good. Okay, even if you are just breathing some fresh air, or you're just out in the nature and not in your homes, not in your rooms, not in your offices, you feel good. You try all those things. Try meditation. So meditation is for a lot of people, it is very difficult for them to concentrate and meditate. It happens gradually. Okay? It happens slowly, but it is extremely helpful. Okay, you just find so many ways uh, of channeling your emotions that you feel relaxed. Okay, you feel that you are light. You feel you're in a good place. Heal your trauma. So this is something that is a little tricky, but everybody, as we grow up, there are certain things that actually take place in our life that leaves an impact on us. We may not realize it, we may not consciously be aware of, but that stress or that trauma gets stored in your body. Okay, and that can also be one reason why your health is deteriorating. I work out very efficiently, I eat only clean, I do this, I do that, but your emotions are not managed, your traumas are not healed. It is a stress for the body, and that can also have various effects on the body. So find ways, talk to a psychologist, talk to a mental health expert, get your traumas resolved. That is the most helpful. Fifth, write. People who don't like sharing, people who don't like venting to other people, people who have this thing that, oh, I might get judged if I say that, start writing. It is beautiful. Okay. I personally maintain a diary. I write every day whatever has happened in my day, whatever emotion I felt, it being like the most random thing to the most teeny tiniest thing to the most biggest thing, every single emotion, it matters. So start writing it down, start jotting it down, and that only helps you feel good. For some people, music helps. Okay, music is a way in which they kind of find peace, opt for that, whatever works for you, but go ahead and find some ways to manage your own emotions. So those were the few ways in which you can take care of your health, both mental and physical. But how do we actually know that you are healthy? You've been following that, you've been skipping some areas, but you just want to know, am I healthy or not? How can you do that? You cannot judge a person's health on base of their appearance. Okay, if somebody is probably built and lean, not necessarily built or lean, not necessarily they are healthy. Okay, so health does not uh, you can't determine health on basis of what you see, but you can determine health on basis of what is internally going on in your body. Okay, you get your blood tested. When you get your blood tested, you know if you are deficient in anything, if there is a chance that some disease or some issue is about to happen in your body. For example, if you're somebody who consumes non-vegetarian food, so you're like, oh, I'm not probably deficient in B complex because I've been consuming non-vegetarian food. If you're somebody who is an athlete per se, and you rehearse or you practice or you train in the sun, and you're like, oh, I get exposed to sunlight, I'm definitely not deficient in vitamin D, but you may still be. I personally deal with a lot of athletes who are at like national, international levels, but they still are deficient in vitamin D, even though they train out in the sun or even though they rehearse or practice out in the sun. That's because there are other factors also with that come into picture. If your liver health, if your kidney health is impaired, your vitamin D will not be synthesized in your body. So to know if your liver is working properly, if your kidney is working properly, if your magnesium levels are good, the B complex levels are good, you get your blood tested. Your blood test can also actually figure out if there is a chance for you to develop any kind of issues. For example, diabetes or insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. Okay, the lifestyle, something that happens due to lifestyle. You may not see, that insulin resistance wala signs and symptoms. You may not probably see signs and symptoms that make you feel that, oh, I might be diabetic or pre-diabetic. But when you get your blood tested, you can see certain markers which indicate that in the long run, if you're not taking care of your health, there is a very high chance that you can become diabetic. So if you're getting a blood test done, and if we know that, okay, there is a chance with the help of proper food, with the help of proper supplementation, you can take care of it. So there won't be a need for you to go ahead and take medications. Okay, people take a lot of medicines for hypertension, they take a lot of medicines for diabetes. All of that could be just avoided if you know beforehand what's going to happen and you treat it then and there. Okay, so these things can occur. These things can happen when you get your blood tested. All things that you are at a risk for could be figured out, and with proper guidance, those things can be worked on. Now here at iThrive, we actually get these your blood tested. What we do is that is the first line of treatment for us. Okay, we don't use medicines, we don't recommend drugs to anybody. It's pure food, nutrition, and supplementation. The first step is something called as your RCA, root cause analysis. Okay, and that is done on based of your blood test. So when we get your blood reports, we do your RCA. Now, I'll just very shortly explain what RCA is. You can just see this tree, okay? It has three parts. It has something that is seen externally, a tree, the green leaves and everything. You have the branch or the trunk, and you have the root, okay? In the same way, certain things that you can see, symptoms like weakness, tiredness, fatigue, you just you black out occasionally, you're just standing up and you black out, weight gain, all of these things are symptoms. Okay, now if there is a symptom, there has to be a problem. In this case, there's a fever. Okay, if you get a fever, in the long run you feel weak, you feel tired, you feel exhausted. All these things are symptoms of fever. Now, if you take a paracetamol, or probably if you take any such kind of drug, you'll treat the fever. That fever, the symptoms, they are erased. But you still don't know what caused that fever. Okay, there could be some underlying infection that is happening in your body. So these fevers, pimple, all of these things, they are an inflammatory response. That means it's a way your body is telling you that, okay, something is not wrong, not right, or something that is not supposed to happen has been happening inside. Okay, so um, these are responses that your body is giving. So you don't cater to the response. You check out the root cause. You actually go to the root of what is happening or why is that thing happening. You treat that. Okay, if suppose you're fainting very often, you feel exhausted, or after food, after you have your lunch, you feel sleepy. After you have your lunch, you crave for something sweet, or all throughout the day you crave for something sweet. That is an indication that eventually you might become diabetic. Okay, that's the first symptom that you see. Now, if you're just saying oh, I have a sweet tooth, that's why I'm craving for chocolate, that is just giving a reason and just eradicating that symptom. But when you get your blood tested, you go much more deep inside and you check out what is causing that craving. It could be magnesium deficiency. It could be an underlying insulin resistant issue. Okay, so these things are figured out. And once they are figured out, they are treated with only food and supplements. And once that is treated, your symptoms will disappear, your problem will disappear, your cravings will disappear, and you won't have to rely on medications eventually. Okay, so that is about uh, the root cause analysis that we do over here at iThrive. And after doing this root cause analysis, we go ahead and we make a customized diet chart. Okay, depending on your requirements, depending on your likes and dislikes, depending on your goals, and most importantly, depending on your blood reports, we make a customized diet chart with few supplements, and that helps you actually get better. Okay, so we have like two things. We have something called as an Alive program where we take care of these issues like diabetes, hypertension, PCOS, all of these things, thyroid issue, all of these things, very commonly occurring things, we take care of that. Another we have where we cater to athletes. So somebody who is even playing recreationally, even playing on weekends, they also need their body's requirements are different. So we have a separate program where we cater to that. And then we have our essentials, which are our supplements vertical. So all of these combined, we work towards healing that person. And I just mentioned one more thing. So you all might have, heard about nutritionists and dietitians. But in my introduction, I mentioned I'm a functional sports nutritionist. So the term functional comes into picture when we take a holistic approach. Okay, we just don't consider your diet. We consider everything: your stress levels, your exercise, your workout, a whole holistic approach, your emotions, your mental health, everything is taken care of. And then we heal the person. So that was the difference between functional nutritionist and a regular nutritionist. So I just forgot to mention it initially. And yes, that was it. That was the end of my presentation. I hope I was not boring, and I hope you all got some new information. Uh, can I just take in some questions? Are we open to Q&A?
Yes, Meryn.
Okay.
There is a lot of questions, but I think the most of them are conversation that people were having. But let's see what is the questions that people would have. Also, I'm just gonna drop a poll here, so you can just add your feedback here. Yes, we're open for questions. Yes, was there any questions from here? What should be the ideal intake of water?
Okay, so I cannot put a definite tag that you have to have 2 liters or 2.5 liters. Like she initially asked, now what area you belong to. You all discussed a lot of things, that it's very hot over here, it's very humid over here. So based on all these things, your requirement changes. If you are working out extra, if you're sweating extra, then you probably need 2 to 2.5 liters to approximately 3 liters of water per day. But I would just mention one thing, that consuming water alone is not going to be effective if you are somebody who sweats often. If you stay in areas where you sweat very often, along with water, you lose something called as electrolytes as well. So you have to give it back to your body. So just nimbu pani and salt will also. Okay. Best would be adding magnesium. That's what I do actually. In this bottle, I have magnesium, nimbu pani, and salt. So yeah, these things can be done.
I think the debate was about which cooking utensil should be used and also which cooking oil should be used. So if you can
Yes.
throw some lights.
So cooking utensils, anything which is, steel, iron, all of these things are good. But anything with a coating, the non-stick coating, the Teflon coating, those things have to be avoided, because that is a way in which toxins can enter your body. And we don't need that, okay? So stick to the old age, utensils that were being used, either steel or iron kadhais and everything. Eliminate plastic altogether, okay? Plastic should not be just even there in your house. And about the oils, so we do not recommend seed oils or the vegetable oils that, like I mentioned. I'm very sure all of you are aware of the process, how oil is actually extracted from these seeds. It's a huge process. There are big fat factories that are set up, lot of processing, lot of refining, lot of addition of preservatives and everything, and then that oil is present. So that is kind of like a waste product. You can use, some people who are okay with coconut oil, so you can use cold pressed coconut oils or ghee and butter. The most safest options: ghee, butter, coconut. Even olive oil and things can be used if you are, in your salads and everything. But that would be it.
So related to the same, we use cold pressed sunflower oil at home, considering it has more unsaturated fats and very less saturated fats and zero trans fat. Then why it's not good? And what oil? Definitely.
Okay, so sunflower oils, they also fall in the same category. Using cold pressed oils are always better than the other one, but not in this case. The thing is, people are very scared of saturated fats. Okay, saturated fats, when they're coming from animal sources, they are extremely good for your body. So you don't have to be scared of saturated fats. And your MUFAs or your monounsaturated fats, they are kind of something that is made in the body automatically. So you don't have to consume it externally. Stick to your PUFA, stick to your saturated fatty acids that are coming from animal sources. So that would be best.
All right. Which food is specifically aiding increasing metabolic rate? That is energy production.
Okay, so you cannot actually focus on one particular food. It's the whole lifestyle that comes into the picture. Okay, so these oils and utensils that I spoke of, implementing those things, being physically active, getting your blood tested, knowing if you have a deficiency, catering to them. All of these things work together. There's no one particular magic food that actually works. If that would have been, then yeah, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I was just asking the next question. How do we deal with sugar cravings? I'm cutting down on sugar intake, but finding it hard. I think.
Yeah. A very popular question. Sugar cravings, like I said, it can be due to various reasons. It can either be due to, most commonly it is seen due to magnesium deficiency, or if there is a borderline insulin resistance, or there is a chance that you're pre-diabetic eventually. So first would be taking care of your magnesium deficiency. Opt for supplements. At iThrive, we have our own supplement range. Opt for that. Start with half a scoop per day to 1 scoop per day. Gradually increase, and think your sugar cravings are going to just disappear. And if that is not happening, then it means that you are insulin resistant. We work on a diet which is diabetic friendly, and then there you go, it's done.
All right. How good is aluminum cooking utensils?
Aluminium cooking, we do not recommend, because what happens is when you heat aluminium, the toxins are released from it and it goes into your food. We do not even recommend aluminium foils, the silver foil that is used for packing food, because under heat, the toxins transfer from those to your food. So better avoid it.
Does intermittent fasting help in reducing excessive weight and help regulate type 2 diabetes?
Insulin fasting works, but it doesn't work for everybody. Okay? It is a very good thing. You start with a 12-hour, you eventually go to 14 hours of fasting. But you have to see if that suits your body, if that's how your body functions. And if that is taken care of, then yes, your diabetes, your hypertension, your diabetes, your weight loss, all of these things can be taken care of with intermittent fasting.
I'm just going to drop the link for the RCA consultation. So as Meryn mentioned, iThrive does this basic consultation where you can actually see what's the root cause for your current nutrition and your how is your balanced lifestyle as well. So I'm just dropping a link for the same. So you can have a consultation. Some people were asking for the consultation as well. So you can just check here.
Can I just take one question? Somebody just texted me, send me a direct message. What is the reason for hair fall and how to control? This is the most common question. The thing is, first, the most important thing is increase your protein intake. Okay, nowadays a lot of people are deficient in protein. When you talk about protein, it is take your body weight. Suppose you're 50 kgs. For every kg, you have to have 1 gram of protein. So if you are 50 kgs, you have to have 50 grams of protein per day. Okay, and that does not usually take place. So increase your protein intake, plus have a very balanced diet. Your B complex deficiency and your protein, they play a very important role in your hair health. So do take care of that.
Pramod is asking, whey protein is good or not?
Yes, so for people, for vegetarian people, if you are not, see, vegetarian food, they have very less amounts of protein present in it. For them, we do recommend whey protein, but the more better option would be something called as essential amino acids, EAA. Okay, so proteins are eventually broken down into amino acids only in your body. So when you take those amino acids, it's kind of easier on the gut also, and it does its proper functions also. Some people experience bloating and everything after consuming protein powder. So for them, essential amino acids are the best way to go on.
Please guide for a diet things to follow for an autoimmune disorder.
Okay, so for autoimmune conditions, it is very, it is different, and I cannot give you a specific diet plan, but you have to see what is triggering your autoimmune condition. Okay, sometimes it is genetic, sometimes it is your exposure to toxins. Let me tell you one thing, even if your house has mold, the fungus type of a thing on your chat and everything, that can also lead to autoimmune issues. Okay, so first you have to figure out what is causing it, and then we cater to it. So I would recommend get your root cause analysis done, get your RCA done, see what is causing it, and then we can work on it.
How to keep gut healthy? There's a lot of questions. Meryn, any few questions that you want to specifically take?
Yes, I'll just go ahead and just check it out. Is vitamin E deficiency caused by factors other than lack of sunlight exposure? Yes, sunlight exposure is the biggest. Vitamin D requires good quality fats in your body to get absorbed. So if you're deficient in fat, or if you're not consuming good amounts of fat, that can lead to vitamin E deficiency. If your kidney and your liver is not functioning properly, then also vitamin E deficiency can be seen. Are added sugars very bad? Should we completely avoid it? Yes. Added sugars are not good. If you want to consume something sweet or something sugar, you can go for dates or dates powder. Okay, so for cooking and everything, if you any kind of sweetener you want to add, just add dates powder, or you can just soak the dates in milk or in water, grind it or mash it, and then you can use it. So that is like a better option. How to keep your gut healthy? So there are something called, your gut has bacteria, okay, and that bacteria, the balance has to be maintained. So you have to increase the use of probiotics. So probiotics are basically the bacteria that are essential for your gut to remain properly. So you can either start with probiotics first of all, or cutting down on wheat and dairy. So wheat or gluten basically and dairy, these are inflammatory. Gluten, because of the whole growing process, the way wheat is grown now, it is completely different than it was previously. So cutting down on gluten and dairy that you find in these big shot companies, that they come from big shot factories, they are not pure. Okay, cutting down on gluten and dairy will automatically help. But along with that, start inculcating probiotics in your diet. Constipation. Reason behind constipation: low consumption of water or a very high fiber diet. So your fiber should be maintained, and you have to start having a lot of water. Any protein supplements you recommend for non-gym going? For people who are not gymming, go for essential amino acids. and essential amino acids and BCAA are different. Your branch chain amino acids are a part of EW. There are a lot of questions. I don't think I'll be able to answer all.
We'll take just one question, last one question. I think this is related to the wheat and dairy. We were eating wheat and dairy for generation. How come these are bad?
Yeah. So the way wheat was grown previously and the way wheat is grown today, it is extremely different. It is very different. So that is one, and it is GMO. That means it has genetically modified organisms added into it, and that is bad for your body. Because the demand increased, now they had to come up with something to say the growth was faster, the supply was faster. So for these things to happen, they added a lot of ingredients, which eventually is bad for the body. Talking about dairy, the one, if you're finding it from proper tabelas and everything, then it is good. But big companies, they inject cows and they inject these cattle with hormonal injections so that they grow quickly and they start producing milk very quickly. Nowadays, I'll just give you one basic example. Nowadays, a lot of women, a lot of girls actually, they are suffering from PCOS. Okay, PCOS is a condition where there is hormonal imbalance going on in your body. Nowadays, little girls, they grow up very quick. You know, they 11-year-olds, they don't look like 11-year-olds anymore. That is because the amount of estrogen in the body, estrogen is a female sex hormone, it has increased highly. And these estrogen injections are actually given to these cattle so that they grow and they produce. So you can actually see examples in life and actually happening around. So these are the reasons why we avoid these. Yes.
All right. How do we avoid gallbladder stone issues?
Okay, so gallbladder stone issues could be due to several reasons. If you are consuming a lot of green leafy vegetables, they have something called as oxalates present. So that could be a reason. There are actually many issues. I would recommend book a consultation. Let us get a proper history, your health history, and then we could actually figure out how things are happening.